Welcome to another session of weCONECT, where we explore the ideas, companies, and key players that continue to raise the bar in eDiscovery.
And today I'm here with Alex Lewis, managing partner at Kuro Group, an organization that specializes in all things eDiscovery. And we're going to spend a little bit of time focusing in on what's important to them and in turn, what's going to be important to you. Welcome, Alex.
Thank you, Ian. Good to be here.
Good. And hey, tell us a little bit about Kuro Group, who you are, what you do.
Wow. Okay. So we started Kuro about 5 years ago. We were kind of coming out of a managed services centric mentality. It's what we did, it's what we spent our energy on. And we since evolved into what I've dubbed a legal technology management company. So we kind of will work internally with federal agencies, corporations, even law firms, as almost an entire litigation support unit. So a little bit of a departure from your traditional providers, but that's what we focus on, Ian.
Good. Now you mentioned some federal projects. Does that mean that you're kind of DC centric? Is that where you spend most of your time?
Well, our official headquarters is Asheville, North Carolina, and we quickly our secondary home is becoming Washington D.C. And there's a number of reasons for that, but we in the past few years we've become a prime federal contractor, and we kind of got drug into the government going through the on-premise cloud hybrid evolution, just like the private sector did.
Right. And I mean, you and I have known each other a long time. So, what keeps you busy other than eDiscovery? And maybe a little bit of background on how you landed where you are.
Yeah, well, I think like everyone, I kind of fell into this. So I started in finance of all places, and I was raising money for small public companies, getting them exposure on national exchanges, the MX, NASDAQ, and all that good stuff.
Sure.
And so I used to scout for small emerging companies, and I found a little eDiscovery software company, and through a game of chance, I ended up working there. Which is where I, in fact, met you and your company,
Yeah.
and through a series of moves through technology companies and legal service providers, I eventually I got stubborn enough to say, listen, I need to try this on my own. If I were to do it, I would do it like this, and
Sure.
that innate stubbornness helped to launch Kuro, and
Yeah.
and so I literally fell into this like most people. And as far as what keeps me busy, I mean, I guess my hobbies this year have been substitute teacher, teacher's assistant, and Zoom coordinator
Yeah.
for everybody, and the director of IT for my entire family. So
Got
those are kind of what I like to do for fun.
Good
Especially
stuff.
this past year. Yeah.
Good stuff. And in your work life, I know that you and your team spend a fair bit of time in iCONECT. We know there's lots of other platforms out there that you could be using for some projects. Why, in some cases, is iCONECT a better solution for you?
I think you tend to think of this like like you strap on your tool belt and you got specific tools for a job. But the reality of things is, the iCONECT platform has always been for us a little bit of a true north as far as not so centric on chasing the next big shiny feature. Not so dull and boring that there's nothing in it. And I think you guys have just really taken a real pragmatic approach to deploying, a lot of the new technology. Even if you're not first to market, it's kind of like, and some people, half the world are going to hate me for this. It's kind of like Apple. They may not have things first, but when they put them out, it's like you're like, yeah, that's right. That's why, that's how you had to do it. And I think we've kind of looked at iCONECT as that platform for us because we're able to work with your team at a very very tightly integrated level. And typically, our team and your team are working with a client,
Sure.
sometimes opposing, and we're able to solve problems. And I think that is at the core of things what we want. I mean, and we love the great new features, and we love the science and technology, and we use it. But the fact remains is I think that, iCONECT's just been one of those platforms that's always kind of known itself.
Well, without naming names, I mean, the combination of our tech and your expertise in the business, your team's expertise, have put you in front of some interesting clients for some interesting projects. Is there any one of those that kind of stands out as a bit of a flagship success for you and Kuro Group?
Yeah, I've got like 6 of those that come to mind, and only 5.5 of them I can't talk about. So, yeah, you know, we've obviously worked on some pretty big international litigations together. And I think the one that's most memorable, you tend to go to let me talk about the biggest case I can think of, and yeah, the biggest case I've ever worked on was boring. And there wasn't a lot that went on. We reviewed documents, we made productions. We wanted to use more analytics than we did. But the one that comes to mind is actually I've got 2 memories of it. It was a drug manufacturer case that was pretty sizable. It wasn't the biggest case, wasn't the smallest case. It was just big enough to be hard to work on, like
Yeah.
anything else. And the 2 memories I have is one, we approached the way that we actually deployed the software. I mean, not only did we use analytics and a lot of exemplar documents and things to solve problems, but the way that we approached the business and the deployment of it gave the lead counsel a level of control over the database and also a financial benefit. I mean, we ended up in about 18 months saving about $1.2 million versus our other options. And the most common option was to do traditional data hosting with in more of a traditional sense, pay by the gig. So that was one memory. The second one was a special assignment I worked on with an attorney out of New York who was, one of 150 attorneys that were our bosses, right? And we got this assignment to find these missing documents, and man, we pulled out every trick in the book. But the thing that got it was using the exemplar documents. We
Yeah.
were able to kind of frankendoc exemplar, and believe it or not, iView, and do some gap analysis, and we found where the document should have been. And we were also able to find some log files that that gave us everything we needed to
Wow.
figure out that, hey, listen, we need to go back to opposing and ask for these specifically because we know they should be there. So it
Wow.
was a
Wow.
lot of fun, and I mean, most of the credit goes to the attorney whose brilliance was done on that. But that was I think my most memorable case, Ian.
Oh, fantastic. And I mean, other than expanding your Zoom knowledge, there's a lot of interesting things happening. I mean, I think
There
we all
is.
saw 2020 kind of wrap up actually with a little bit of an upturn. I know certainly for us, we certainly are starting to see a number of exciting things on the horizon. From a technology perspective, is there anything technologically that you're excited about sort of coming up, or anything you're just in general excited for 2021?
Yeah, so a couple things. I mean, one, we're working with a technology called Converse, and that has solved a problem that we have had for um, the better part of 4 years, where we've been working with short form messaging
Sure.
and dealing with text messages, Teams, now Slack, and and all of those data points. So, we've kind of gotten behind and used this technology, which basically converts some of these forensic image files with short form messaging into usable, practical
Right.
discovery pieces. But parent and child relationships, and it makes life a lot easier for review teams. And so we're looking forward to that. But also we've been for the last 4 or 5 years kind of specializing in the G Suite and Office 365
Sure.
eDiscovery suites that are now being deployed by various agencies and
Right.
corporations. So those 2 things from a technology standpoint are keeping us really busy. I mean, we're looking forward to pushing those out, over the next year and beyond.
Yeah, and it sounds like as you look there, you're looking to develop solutions and optimize workflows in two growing areas of technology. These are real world problems people have that are out there that you using our technology and others are really putting together fantastic combinations of tech to meet and exceed those needs. Um, uh, Tell us a little bit about how people can learn more about Kuro Group, where they can find you.
Best place to track us down is LinkedIn. All right, that our company profile there, and our website is kurogroup.com. That's KURO group.com, and those are the best places to track us down.
Good, and I presume word of mouth is continuing to bring business to your door.
I tell you what, word of mouth has been our marketing department for the
Yeah.
last 5 years. We're very grateful for that, and yeah, that has been how we've been able to grow to the point that we're at today.
Awesome. Well, good things happen to good people. Today, Alex Lewis, managing partner with Kuro Group. Stay safe, and thanks for your time today, Alex.
Thank you, and you as well.
weCONECT, brought to you by iCONECT, making information accessible.